Hey there, welcome to this message. All right, so what I'm getting is that this is for a divine feminine, okay? A message for a divine feminine. And recently, I'm hearing like there's something about divine feminine, a connection that you have, okay? And I don't know if this is a connection where it's like they aren't strong enough for you. Okay, there's something about you needing somebody who's really strong and who is strong spiritually and in the physical as well, has like a foundation laid physically as well as spiritually. There's something about I'm hearing like I've been pushing you away because I don't really fully understand you. I don't really fully understand this connection, this piece. It scared me. There is something like that, and I'm sorry. This is almost like you're past this, okay? So I'm getting like you're kind of past this like wave of I'm getting like turbulence, okay? Like I think this divine feminine has gone through an awakening that kind of like rocked your world, okay? Like it may have shaken up your whole life, and there's a lot of things that have gone involved in this, and I'm hearing like that's pretty much over now, okay? That piece is over, and maybe you need to go back into like a solitude time now that things have kind of like calmed down, okay? It's somebody else's stormy ride at this point. There's somebody else who's about to be in a storm if they aren't already, and it's not where you shouldn't be connected to this person. Like I feel like there's something about cutting ties with this person, and they need to figure it out on their own, because this is kind of their own spiritual ride, their own energy, something they need to figure out for themselves. And I almost hear like they were like a weighing you down like an anchor, and it was pulling you down, okay? So it wasn't lifting you up, it was pulling you down. So I feel like God said enough, and like maybe cut ties. You have maybe had like maybe you did like a cutting cord ceremony or something like that. Maybe if you haven't and this is resonating, you should do that. But also I feel like whenever it's time, it's almost like you can just ask God to do it, and you don't necessarily need to partake in some kind of ceremony. It's like if God wants this to be taken from your life, God will take this from your life, right? Like the divine will protect you from whoever this is. And I'm not saying that this person is terrible or evil or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this person, there's something with this person that just isn't clicking. Like there's something that maybe they need more growth. Maybe there needs to be more growing in this situation. Maybe you're ahead, because I'm hearing like something about your ascension, like you're further ahead than this person, or they can't even, like they don't fully wrap their head around this. They don't know. They didn't protect you, something like that. And so anyways, it's up to God to do this, okay? But there's also so what is coming in is like you need to let this go. And a part of me wonders if you letting this go, there's something about a fear of letting this go or a fear of something else. Okay, so it's one or the other. It's either like the fear of letting this tie go, because maybe it's there might be some like codependency issues with this person or something, and you may be afraid to go out on your own. But what I'm saying is like when you do this, when you cut this off, when you end this, something else comes in that's actually made for you, that's not going to be as hard. Like this person's already developed, okay? This person's already there spiritually. They're already it's like I'm already enlightened. I've already been through the dark night. I've already done the work. I've already done the inner journey. I've healed these wounds. I've done what it is that I have. I just heard the month of December. Okay, so there's something important about the month of December, and I don't know if this was the past December. Maybe something happened that was really important and significant in December that ended up changing up something for you. Okay, maybe a different timeline or something like that. I'm hearing both. So both might be very significant, something that happened last December and something that's about to happen this December. Okay, but I'm hearing like have no fear. Somebody is coming in. Okay, this is gonna be somebody else is coming into your life. And I feel like it is towards the end of the year. I feel like it is that like November, December. This is a romantic love type of situation. Okay, that's what this is. And they are very strong. This is like, and I don't know if this is like a whole new person or if this is somebody from your past that's like a new person because they've been through so much and now they're coming in with this strength. That I'm not sure. That's, you know, that's going to be different for everybody. But what I'm getting is like, there's not one specific person. Okay. Like, and this piece may be very, very specific, is like, there's not like this one specific person that you are thinking about when I say this. You're kind of like I'm seeing somebody shrug their shoulders. Like, I don't know who this is. Right. Like, so, this may be very like specific to somebody, is like, I don't know who this is. And maybe you're not supposed to know. Okay, like we need to let go of the like, I need a sign, I need this, I need that, I need to know exactly who this is gonna be. I want to know what they're doing or whatever. Like, all you can do is just like, you know, say your affirmations, keep your vibe really high, because when you're in a high vibration, the right person, okay, that is aligned with your life, but it has to be aligned. It's not going to come in if your vibe isn't high. So what I'm hearing is like the enemy is going to try to stop this, okay? And they probably have. Like, this has probably been going on for a long time. Somebody doesn't want you involved with this person. And I just think because there's a lot of light involved in the situation, okay? And that's just the way it goes. And, or somebody wants you to themselves and can't have you, that may be a thing as well. Like, I can't have you, but I don't want anybody else to have you. That's a very low vibrational energy, and we kind of have to come out of this vibration. Now, there may be something about you needing to take a rest, okay? You need to go a little bit slower. You needed to do a retreat. This could be anything of where, like, you just take a week of just chilling, of just relaxing, of just like writing in your journal, and maybe like soul searching, right? Like where you say, okay, I'm going to be by myself, and like figure out a way to, if this means you need to go away for a weekend or something like that, where it's almost like there's going to be more understanding or more of a clear path when you do this, because now that we're done with the turbulence, you can actually sit and concentrate on what it is that you're trying to call forth, like what it is, the energy that you want in your life, you know, the type of person that you want in your life, because I feel like that's been kind of all over the place, but you've had some connections that have had to be cut off because they don't give you inner peace. They don't bring you balance. They don't bring you peace, okay? And there's something about, I don't accept you for everything. I don't accept you for all that you are. There's this saying of, what is it? If you can't love me at my worst, like you don't deserve the best, right? So that as well. Like this, you're cutting ties, I think, from something like that. And part of that, I think, is a karmic timeline. I do think that is part of a karmic timeline. Now, I'm getting that, like, this is a spiritual, divine, okay, godly connection that's trying to come through. And you're going to be able to be very authentic with each other in this situation, okay? There is no... there's acceptance of you, like as a whole. There's acceptance, okay? I love you. I love your imperfections too, because that's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. We can work through things. We can work through this. We can work through our differences. That's what a divine counterpart's about. That's what a divine, you know, like a toxic partner, it's not being able to talk through those things. It's not being able to, like, hey, if I tell you something that I feel like we need to change, it just causes more drama and more chaos. But if it's a divine connection, it is, how do we work through this? How do we get through this? How can we change this? Okay, how can we how can we turn this around, okay? And there's more peace, there's more love, there's more like, I appreciate you for being real with me and being honest and being truthful, and with what it is that you're struggling with here when it comes to me. I feel like that's going to be more of like the connection that is trying to come through, because nobody's perfect in this connection. Even if it is divine, this person isn't perfect and neither are you, right? So we need to get past that mindset of like, my twin's perfect, or my twin's going to be perfect, or it's this soulmate or this soul connection that's going to just like be so perfect all of the time. No, but there's toxicity / karmic stuff over here, and then there's like, maybe we're going to have challenges, maybe we're going to have struggles, but it's a divine love, it's a divine where we have like peace, like we can communicate our differences in a peaceful, loving way, harmonious way. So this is like forever and always is what I'm getting. This is a forever and always type of situation, okay, that wants to come through. But again, what's the fear that you need to release? Or what is the person that needs to release, or this connection that needs to be released and let go of? How do you let go of it peacefully? How do we move on from it? But there is something deep about a divine feminine who you almost feel like, and getting like, because of who you've been connected to, I almost think that they've been not necessarily meaning to siphon your energy, but you've been kind of giving it freely to this person. I feel like this is a spiritual connection that you've been giving freely to. And honestly, like, I just don't think they give you anything in return, which is really unfortunate, you know? And I think that that's why God's like, this person has to grow. Like, this is going to come back around, which I don't think, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe this, like, future, this is somebody that's grown, whoever this is. But because I do think that this is some kind of a soul connection. I do. That, like, you recently cut ties with, you're going to get back this energy that's been siphoned. Okay? And I don't know if I don't know, okay, if it's them meaning to. I don't want to say that. I mean, maybe for some it is, and maybe for some it's like they don't realize that they're doing that to you. Okay? They don't know that if you're giving it to them, that you don't have it, okay? That you go into the standstill mode, you get into the stagnancy because you're giving them all of your energy, because there's a soul connection here. I feel like you love them, okay? You're like, I love you even though you've done X, Y, and Z to me, because we have this deep soul connection. So yeah, I think that once you cut this off, it changes kind of a trajectory. It maybe gets you into more of like this solitude mode, or this like using more of your intuition and digging deep in your soul and figuring out what God is calling for you, where God wants you, okay, and the path to take in this situation or with your life in general, because it's a big one. Like, there's something big about this. Like, there's something big about, okay, and then I just heard, like, somebody, like, emotional release, okay? Like, somebody's having an emotional, maybe when you cut ties, this person ends up having an emotional release, or has a round or a second round or of, like, dark night or something like that, which, honestly, is necessary for growth. It is. So, I think that within divine timing, when the time is right, this energy kind of comes into your life, okay? And it's once you are in that solitude, and I do think that, like, though you've accepted and made peace with where you are at currently, I think that's where you had to be. Like, we had to have peace for you to kind of get back into that drive, or like that I'm driven mode, or I'm like back to my divine feminine, or I'm balancing the energies, right? Because we do all have the masculine and the feminine energies, and it's balancing the two in a healthy way. And because that's what I'm getting right here. I'm getting that there's something about, okay, for some of you, this is, I break free from the fear, romantic love comes in, you meet, and this is where your masculine and your feminine energies balance out, or the masculine comes in, the feminine's here, and there's a union. And so it's almost telling me, like, you cutting ties with something brings this forth. And that's what you did, or what you had to do. And then this also, like, brings you onto that path of, like, this is my soul mission. Okay, it helps you do that. So either, like, for some of you, it's cutting free from the fear, from the ties, because I feel like you're afraid to cut ties from somebody because there's a codependency issue. That is what I'm getting for many of you. There's a codependency issue with something, you had to cut ties with this person. And, because it's just not right. Okay, it's just not right. And that's when this romantic love comes in. And that is kind of more like of a twin soul, or a high level soulmate situation. Or you cut ties with this person, you come into union with yourself. Okay, like you balance out your masculine and your feminine energies if you haven't already. And you become this magnet for this romantic love, for it is that you want. Okay, because the law of attraction is real, and vibrating at a certain level and trying to get to that level and bringing forth another energy. And that is possibly why you are not attracted to very many people right now, if any at all. Part of that is because that the one just hasn't shown up, and I feel like you're waiting for that. And then a part of it is because you can pick up on toxicity or low vibe rather quickly, okay? Or like from afar, like you can pick it up from afar. You know when somebody's in a low vibe state, and you stay away from them and you're not attracted to them because they're in a low vibrational state. Not saying they're not attracted to you. They may be attracted to you because you're in a high vibrational state. And they're like, what is it how can I get that vibration? Like, how can I get that? So you're going to attract what it is that you're putting out into the universe right now. And that is, I did just hear a high level soulmate. Okay, for some of you, like this may be like a high level soulmate. You don't need a twin. Like your twin was there for you for what it was that you needed at the time. Your journey with your twin may have been something where, hey, I needed this twin flame, twin soul, whatever journey to grow, to protect, to help, whatever the case may be, to get me out of a karmic situation. Sometimes I'm getting this, like sometimes if you're in a karmic cycle, you are given somewhat of like a karmic twin, which is like a catalyst to get you out of, they are sent in to get you out, to push you away from a karmic timeline. They don't belong in your life, but you don't know this when you are doing this. But they help you get out of a karmic timeline to get you on a higher vibration eventually, and bring in a high level soulmate or that twin soul, that spiritual connection nothing else is going to be work for you. Okay, you're at this level vibrationally where you're not going to be able to be, you won't be physically, sexually, emotionally attracted to anybody that is not on the same vibration as you. Okay, and that isn't a soul connection. You will not be attracted to anybody that is not on that same soul connection, that's not on the same plane, that is not on the same level spiritually, that is not a soul connection. And that goes with friends as well. You may be staying away from certain people, certain friend groups, or like certain friends that you always felt like you resonated with. You no longer resonate with these people, but you're at a high vibration. You're going to start attracting in soul family that are also on the same or can get to that place, and you can help them get to that place. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have for this this message. And so I hope that resonated. If it did, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.